Yeah.
Alright, cool.
What's BK?
I should be.
Oh, it's private. Why were you saying, oh my god? Oh, I thought that was very well just modified for a second. I was like, oh my god, he's gonna die.
Okay, there we go. It says I'm live. Can someone check my audio and see what it sounds like on the actual stream? Because I can't post in the link in the thing.
What are you streaming on?
It's just Fishfacedgecko.
Alright.
Same as my name.
Oh, I'm the game! No. Why am I in the teams?
What's going on? What?
Why am I in the teams? You're the teams.
Oh wait, what? Yes, Bastion! You're now part of Impulse once again! Yes is back on Impulse! Bastion Flanker!
Yes, he's back. Back again.
Toxic Blade 69, whatever the hell you name
Yes,
it.
he's back.
No, I'm Bello 69.
Bello Mellow.
No, it's 69 Bello Mellow.
It's 63, isn't it? It's 63.
No. Oh wait, it's 63 Bello Mellow then.
There you go. Smart boy.
Alright, cool.
Thank you.
Cool.
Alright,
So,
so,
what's the difference of like
how are you?
level 1, 34, 36, 20, 162? Okay, hi. Okay.
I'm down, pal. Oh god, he's not playing.
Wait.
I'm just gonna start flexing top 500 stuff.
Shut up.
Alright. I think we should be live. Or we should be.
I'm looking at my.
I'm including the audio, so I'm assuming we're live.
Yep. I just need to see how it sounds. 1 second.
Insane casting with my brilliant mouthful of food.
Oh, awesome.
Oh god, no casting Impulse versus C4.
It's saying
Yo,
I'm
you
hosting
big dodgy
a
as
stream.
fuck.
Wait, can you hear it, dude? I can't pull up my stream. It's not working for me. I can't even see my own stream. It's saying I'm hosting.
Yeah,
Oh,
20.
you all like blagging.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
just
why?
It's on the stream as well, yeah.
Ah!
Okay.
Can you hear me fine at the party?
Yeah, it's just on that.
Yeah. Hang on. We'll figure this out.
Yeah, you're lagging.
How do I stop hosting a channel? Because I've got it on auto host XOL when it's live. But
No, Mr.
I think that's
really
what's
dodgy.
fucking it up.
Yeah, I'm repeating 2 seconds.
We'll see if we figure this out. Yeah. Alright, okay, so it says... Alright, cool. It's saying stuff. 1 second. Just keep talking, dude. Okay, so it says... Okay, yeah. It's you, Sentai. Like, I can't figure out why it's you, because the host has stopped, but it's just my voice is fine coming across the thing, but yours isn't for some reason. Have you, like, included your audio? And if you have, then uninclude it and then include it again.
My mic's fine.
I don't know. Okay.
Hello!
Yeah? Okay,
It's
1
my
second,
lucky
let me know. Yeah, just keep talking, Bastian. 1 second.
That's making Chinese sounds. That's not talking.
Yeah, mine's fine.
Wrong. What?
It's
Yeah, Bastion's fine.
In the stream going, hello!
Yeah.
Okay, good.
To be fair, yours sounded alright there. It might just be that you... I don't know.
I only
We'll see if we can get people to say stuff. Debeastian in the chat. Awesome. Can you tell me if, like, this is a problem you've had before and if Sentai actually sounds okay?
Do I sound
I see
okay?
you.
Do I sound sexy? Does my voice make you cream?
Alright, we're entering a game. Anyway, so, we have... we've got
It's a
C4 versus
repeat of the
Impulse.
finals of the last season.
It is a repeat of the finals. Let's
Except
go.
they
This
haven't
should be a
got
really
Ocean.
good game to watch.
It won't though.
My camera work's going to be straight Garbo.
Garbo!
We've seen some interesting strats on this map so far this week in this week's games. There's been a lot of Bastion and a lot of goats. Yeah,
So
you're
like
right.
the DPS is a tad, tad lacking.
Oh. Technical
Mine
difficulties, it's
actually-
okay.
They don't have
I
the
don't
aimbot
mind.
player. What are they doing with themselves?
No, they're gonna have the mouse and keyboard player. The way at the stream the preview wasn't.
Alright. So,
Oh,
for
okay.
C4 we've got
Oh,
Big
oh.
Red,
Whoa,
Hyde,
that's
Merrywindow,
a Hammond
Callahan,
Diva. Hello.
Kamala, and Thickpan.
Oh no, okay. Are they gonna change it?
2 seconds, I need to change my...
Okay, so it looks like Krabby's probably on Diva. I think no, one of them's on Diva, one of them's on Hammond maybe? Yeah, I think they're running Hammond Diva.
No, Hammond doesn't have armor.
Is it not?
That looks... No.
Arisha?
That looks-
Is that Arisha?
English stand sprays. 2 seconds.
That's not half of
Yeah.
Who is that?
No, it's not Arisa. That's Reinhardt, maybe?
Oh yeah. I'm dumb. It's Diva!
I'm
I
going
called
into
it!
their spawn now.
Hammond does have armor. Hammond has armor. I'm the best. You bow down to me.
Wait, what? I didn't think Hammond had armor.
Hammond has armor. He's a giant
Oh my
wrecking
God,
ball.
Hammond
What
has
do you
armor.
mean he doesn't have armor?
Well,
Oh,
I don't
that
know.
was
I just
really
didn't
weird,
think he had
Tom.
armor.
Oh.
I thought he was
Oh,
like...
That is
Roadhog.
dive. That is straight dive.
Is that like the thing?
Yeah, running a wrecking
they're
ball
choosing
dive for the
Moira
Moira.
over
That's
Mercy.
pretty ballsy.
Yeah,
Oh,
like they
okay,
have no,
Flunky's
their
running
main
back to the
healer
hill.
has no vertical mobility. Like, interesting choice.
It'll be... I mean, you say that, but this map from... Hang on, that's the wrong team I'm looking at. No, yeah, this makes no sense. But they are set up on the low ground, so it shouldn't make any difference anyway. I wonder if this is a strat they've worked on. Maybe there's something that we're not seeing here. We should
Well, they're
find out
gonna
as they
have
come
fun
through.
running that into a Reaper, unfortunately, because Reaper will just shred through the hamster. Thankfully, they have a Diva instead of a Winston. This would just be an easy GG if they didn't. Okay.
Should be interesting. They're just doing some like
They're-
scouting at the
They're
the
moment.
left.
poking, the looks of it. Big pile drive from
Ham goes
Hammond.
in, just gets
Oh,
a
Andy
There's
big
the
pile
aggro.
drive. We'll see if he
There's-
can
there
actually
appears
get
to
out
be-
alive.
Oh, but...
No
Hammond
shot
does go
call.
down.
Okay, right. Okay, that was
I
a
think
very
I
sloppy
just came
dive.
up too
They
fast.
went in, and all of them chose different targets. There was literally no focus there. So, let's try and change that, please, Impulse.
Yeah, we're seeing the wrecking ball swap over to a
Oh,
Reinhardt.
yeah.
Makes a lot more
Stagger.
sense against the comp they're running.
Oh, double sniper, hello!
This will be
Hell.
good to watch. I know Flunky's Widow is insanity. We saw it in the show match. There was Impulse versus C4, which did end 4-0 to Impulse.
It's Impulse?
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, dude. C4 got rolled in the show match. But it's a different C4 team now. TBM scrimmed them recently, and C4 played extremely well. So this should be a
Well,
really
Flunky
good match
said
to
he
watch.
was Mini high ground.
About high pressure
Oh, but
work.
they're just rotating into mini. They know what they're doing. They're right on the right. That's
Oh.
that. Yep, that Impulse is right and
That's
dropping
gonna- that's
real
gonna-
quick.
Oh, it's a huge pin now.
Big pin onto Hyde. Shatter comes through, gets
Oh,
one.
they got
Only
the
gets
save
one.
there.
Can they clean up the kill?
Oh.
Just
Big
missed out.
hit
Arctic's
Marcus.
got free fire from the high
Oh.
ground.
Arctis with the double
Arctic
kill.
uncontested.
Popping the hell off.
Oh.
Uncontested high
Double
ground.
sniper
Literally
does look
nothing
like it's going to
stopping
be
him. Oh my
something
God.
that Impulse are going to be very good
Oh,
at running.
that's a nice picture.
Wasted
Dragon
well. That's
comes
an
through.
interesting dragon. Okay, well. Whatever you think, Arctis.
Shut up.
I don't think they did that.
To be fair, if he plays like that
they
every team
stuck-
fight, he'll get one by
They
next fight.
stuck
so it's
Widow
fine,
top
yeah.
right, and they stuck Hanzo top left. They just literally crossfired, and that was great.
Yeah, that was
Interesting
the positioning
tactical
from Hanzo there
suicide
was very
from
clever.
Merrywindow.
They're probably going to play really
Um,
offensive now.
They have a pick, because Mary jumped off the map.
Yeah, they are going in 65 here.
Oh, the
Reap roll
Blossom
comes
is
in,
fine.
doesn't get
Reap
anyone.
roll.
Finds no one, but oh, there goes
Hyde does get
Suna.
one. Mercy going for the res. Does get the
Oh,
bubble.
big res
bubble
from
there.
Mercy.
Pressed by Reinhardt.
They're still in this fight now.
Oh,
Big
Crappy
kills
allows
from
the res to come
Brian
through.
and Hanzo. Huge.
Oh, wow.
Val coming inside of Impulse.
They need to
Aggro
clean up
coming
this fight
in.
quickly with the
They
spawn.
need to start playing aggro. Big pick on the Mercy, but there goes the main tank. Big grab coming in from
Big
Kahuma.
grab. Does
Big
get cleaned up. It looks
cleanup
like
from Mary.
does look like C4 will be able to stall this one out. Win this team fight.
Yeah, we see Widow unfortunately getting a tad staggered there. They didn't aggro. They just did not push off of the 3 picks that they had.
I think they were playing for the res, which was a clutch bubble
Even
by
after
Krabby
the res,
Atom onto
though.
the Mercy
Even
there,
after
who
the
would
res,
have
they
been
didn't
picked.
push.
Yeah, there was a good grab to hold their momentum for sure.
Yeah,
Looks
but
like
look
they've
what they
regrouped here,
got.
going back in
Dragon combo
again.
this fight.
We've gone from the Moira to the Mercy, which I believe
C4
happened after the
switching
first
off the
point.
Reaper despite the double sniper.
Damage boosted Flunky. Big grab
Big
comes in,
grab
gets
and
5
the Dragon
Dragon.
And off the Dragons coming through.
Let's see
Oh,
if it gets any. Gets 3.
Blossom return.
reap
Oh,
roll
they
does
go
take out
healer
both
from the side of
supports.
Impulse and a big res and pick back.
And the res.
3
this
people
could be
dropping
enough
on
to
the side of
stall out the
Impulse with a
point.
huge res. Looking like C4 can stall this out. Big pin coming in though, and the Brigade
Big
like a million
pin
tick
onto
out of this. Lucio, the only one left alive. Can he stall long enough? Here comes Diva. Here comes the run. Big slam
Big
on the
shatter
Ryan
to get
Diva.
to. Can they clean up Hyde before?
Diva Reaper left
team
alive now,
regroups?
but oh, yeah, the tank side of Impulse
It looks like
dropping.
they won't get it.
Interesting res on
Res
their
does come
Zarya. Trying to win the fight, but backing
Yeah.
out. So I don't know why
No,
they
this
res that.
fight's over. C4 take this one for sure.
Oh,
Sight's coming in really early.
oh,
Big pick on Brig though, but an instant res onto Reaper.
It's an
Impulse
interesting
finally
comp
grouping
that
back
C4 are running right now. Like the triple support with a Mercy.
up. Pin on the Rhine. There goes the main tank from C4. Big advantage on the side of Impulse now.
oh, and they find the Dynamite.
Rushing that Brigade Reaper on the right on the road. Lucio peeling though. Arctis taking out the other tank on the side of C4.
Mercy
Widow
alone on
untesting the
point
high ground,
does
taking
get
out the
bit.
main healer. Reaper using right
Oh,
to
but they
attempt to
lose the
contest.
runs.
Brigida, Reaper, Lucio, the only ones. A big pin from Hyde though.
Mercy
named
does get the
Zarya
res
into Mega Room.
on the Rhine.
Down goes Reaper. Pressure on that Widowmaker.
Oh,
Big
Backline.
shattered, gets 2, gets both
Can Widow
tanks.
stay
Can
alive
they
this
get the
time?
clean
Big
up?
heals from the Mercy, whose name I can't
It
pronounce.
does look like C4 are going to be able to stall out this point again.
Finds no one. Grabbing the side of Impulse.
Big B is going
Lucio
to save the
beats.
Hyde from that pin.
It's all out.
Should be able to pick
oh,
up
there's
the
a
options
pick
from
on
Ryan.
Impulse's main tank. That's a big pick. Looks at the backing up, and there goes the main healer.
And they
Impulse
stall again.
can't capitalize on these picks. What is their
Impulse
issue right
clearly starting off the fight in a much stronger position. I think the triple support from C4 is really allowing them to stall out the point. With the Mercy res coming through as well. You don't usually see triple support with the Mercy. But they're playing it here and it has been working for them. They're also running the Reaper into double sniper, or they
now?
were,
It
and now
seems
they've...
that I don't see much value from this Reaper, but they're still winning.
It's working. Flunky trying to set up the crossfire with the Hanzo.
Dragon coming from
Dragon
Arctis,
comes through,
taking out the
splitting.
Lucio.
Does get
Oh,
Callahan.
Slam gets cancelled.
Shatter
That's
block.
big picks from Arctis. Blossom coming in, can it find people? Big cancels it out, but a big res on Hyde.
Blossom doesn't
Down goes
get
the
the
Reaper.
value.
Grav
This
coming in
should
from
be
side of
it
Impulse
here
once
with
again.
that grab.
Can they clean
Can
up?
they clear it up?
No kills
No,
from the
that
Rally and the
Briggle-
Valkyrie. Just too much heals.
Impulse need to get kills quickly if they want to cap this point here and like prevent
Impulse,
another stall.
lots
The
of
Wrecking
kills
Ball
in the feed,
has
but
come
not
out.
all of them. They're just switching to a stall comp, but they can't. Oh, there you go. Can we get at least get
Yeah.
tick out of this? Come on.
This is
Ryan
going to
coming
be
in
at least.
from right.
This should be at least 2
Pushing in,
ticks
pick
here.
it.
We'll see if
Oh,
they regroup before going.
Callahan coming in for the stall, stalling just after second tick though. Filters into Callahan, Callahan drops. Moira now on the point with the Reinhardt, slamming down the Diva, demecking and finishing her off, but Hamster's back once again with the stall. Dropping to the left, being booped off, down once again. Can they cap this? Can they capitalize? And there we go.
They got it before a minute as well, so even if
I would have quite liked to
cap it
see
over time.
C4 regroup. It's kind of sacrifice 2 ticks there and actually get
Yeah.
another team fight out, but they opted to try and hold before 2 ticks, and I think it cost them that.
That extra 20 seconds that they got there can be huge if C4 cap in overtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, finishing with over a minute on the clock could be clutch. We'll see. Because Impulse have been very strong so far in terms of starting off the fight with picks. And on defense, if you start out a fight with picks, you just win. So
That's.
we'll
I
see
think
if they
picks
can.
are more important on attack, though. Honest to God, like the fact that they won't have to do that on attack when the defenders are so much further away, especially in the first point.
I think with picks with spawn advantage, if you get a pick too early on a team that has a massive spawn advantage, like that player's going to get back in the fight before the brawl starts.
Yeah.
So I think they were struggling with that. They get 1-2 picks.
Yeah.
Fair
I
enough.
hope Impulse
Looks
win
like we
this.
have to say goodbye to Sensei.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye,
forever.
Sensei.
Until the next time we cast.
Attackers incoming in
Sure. So welcome Bastion Flanker. He was here this whole time, but
What?
what have you been thinking about the game so far, Bastion?
Well, it's pretty. It's. I don't know. I've just not really been paying attention. I've just kind of be watching
I
Funky
don't
kill
know.
everything.
Pro casting here from your boy. All right. So it looks
Oh,
like we've got
this is a
a
really interesting
Wrecking
comp,
Ball Winston dive. Oh, full.
Yeah, but Big Red can get a
Not
huge
fair.
Genji ult off
Yeah.
here. They have no defensive ults.
Running dive without a diva is a ballsy play coming out here from C4. I am a fan of the Ana Lucio for this dive. They look like they've practiced this. They know where they're staging from. They're playing against a Bastion comp set up in the far corner. This will be difficult to get across without the defense matrix. I would expect Kamala to swap to the diva after this attack, but we'll see what they can do here.
I expect.
Double shield
yeah.
pharmacy, Bastion coming out from
Yeah, that's it.
team.
They
It's
can't
gonna
really
be really
touch the comp
difficult for
without
them to get
one,
onto
at
this
least one
Bastion.
of their members dying. Like they're just gonna get farmed.
For sure. It's looks like two very rehearsed strats from these teams. This should be
Yeah,
should be an interesting attack to watch here. I would expect the Wrecking Ball to swap off here.
No, they're running Callahan.
We'll see. Oh no, they've swapped Callahan over to the diva, which is understandable. They do need that defense matrix. They're swapping to the right. Okay, they're going full goats, or they're going Genji goats here, which does make sense. They'll be looking to go right and then go up the staircase straight onto the Bastion here, hoping to hold that speed amp and just run straight over the Bastion comp, which does make sense with the pharmacy. Where they will need to watch out for barrage, since that could punish their entire team going forward here.
Mary will have the.
But if they
normal
are
for
quick
this fight,
enough.
though, which could be huge if they get it onto the Reinhardt and the Reinhardt's able to pin the Bastion.
Bastion. Yeah, it looks like they will be going right here over the staircase, looking to run the Bastion straight over, knowing that Impulse aren't running the Symmetra to teleport away.
Oh,
Big shatter block.
huge.
Justice comes in from behind in tunnel, gets 4. I'm sorry I missed that. Coming through. They now know that the barrage is down, which was their main source of defense against this. So we should see C4 hold on to this strat, do the same thing, but this time there will be no barrage from
but
the
look how
side of
many
Impulse to stop that push.
Yeah, but look how many ult Impulse have for this fight. They have probably
Impulse
4 by the
do
end.
have... Yeah, they will have Valk and Bongo and Bastion ult. You could say that they're not the most impactful ults they could have, as
yeah, but
Impulse
with the
charge
Bastion?
forward here.
Yeah.
Nano goes onto the Lucio, which is an
Lucio.
unfortunate mistake here. We'll see what that comes through. Flunky does get 2 picks. Flunky does go down though. It's still a... okay, no.
It's all over.
Side to...
And they didn't use any
I'm
support
just going to
ults.
say the Impulse Reinhardt does clean up and make this fight go in Impulse's favour.
The crucial thing
C4 will
is
be
they still have
disappointed there
support
because they did have the advantage going into that fight, team composition wise. We'll see if they can regroup and hit a shatter here going to this next one.
This is potentially
But
the
now
last
with
fight as
barrage
well.
up, Shatter coming online this fight, and both support ults coming online, this will be difficult to stop here. We'll see if Big Red can eat this Farah ult before he gets too many people. Big Shatter
They
comes
catch
in on
the
the Reinhardt.
And the Reinhardt is gone.
Huge pin from Hyde. Can they get onto
However,
the
the
Bastion?
Reinhardt
Here's
also
the
got
question.
back
Ult
up.
does come out.
Oh, that's 2 down.
Looks about even
3
in
down
this
on the side
fight.
of
Flunky does
C4.
get 2, but he does go down. Could be an even fight on point as the Diva comes in to join. Bomb comes out.
Huge
Doesn't
grab.
get anyone, but does force Impulse back.
Oh yeah, but they do have to grab on.
Big Grav
But
gets two. Does go down after it. We'll see if Big Red can stall long enough for C4 to get back on point. Big pin onto Callahan by the Impulse's Reinhardt. We'll see if they... Bongo is gone and they are on point now with 3 tanks.
Oh, but
We'll see if they're
nope.
Soldiers back and Farris back, so this will just be clean up for Impulse as they take this map. What do you think C4's main problem was there on the attack?
They just
you say?
didn't. They didn't have any ults until the end, and they didn't make a decisive push. They should have just saved ults and went for one jam push. Oh, it's off.
Arctis setting up a huge crossfire, I believe. If it's on first point. No, it's not.
No, it's the
Oh, it's
dragons.
the dragon into the grab. It's
It's
2 people
literally
taking
Candace
fly. Let's
clips.
go, boys. But Arctis and Flunky were setting up a very strong crossfire on first point attack. Clearly something they've worked on, positional-wise. Was very effective with the double sniper on attack. Haven't seen double sniper be super effective in the league so far, but maybe this is the team that can do it.
They do,
39
yeah.
elims coming in from Manic Pigeon, playing on that Lucio. Huge from Impulse there. How do you pronounce Impulse's Reinhardt's name? Because I don't want to embarrass myself. You know what I'm saying?
And you want me to embarrass myself instead, yeah?
Absolutely.
Mara
Simitsuna. No,
Oh.
not that wasn't the Reinhardt.
Simon Suna.
I'm just gonna call you S-Dog, dude. You know who I'm talking about. No, I'm not gonna do that.
Who's that dog? I don't. Could you tell me the full name?
Looks like there is a sub coming out here. I didn't see who was subbed out. I think it was Thick Plan in for Mind Temple. Have a look at Mind Temple's profile here. Coming in a Lucio Mercy player. Isn't retting the correct player icon, which is a bit of an L for the team right there. I'm curious about Arctis as well. He was setting up some very good crossfires, knowing where Flunky's positioning was. Very good positioning for a diamond player. That's insane.
No.
I think the crossfire they set up really just pinched C4 on that first point of defense. C4 were a lot better on defense than they thought on offense. They thought their offense wasn't as coordinated as they would have liked. I think they were hoping to run the dive, and when they saw the Bastion, they got scared out of that notion. I do wonder if they just kept on the Winston Diva, if they could have just forced onto the Bastion and won that fight that way. But I guess we'll never know now as we go into map 2, which is Oasis.
This is a very strong map for goats, though. Oh.
Absolutely. It's also a strong map for dive, though, actually, on some of the maps. Trying to remember names of the Oasis maps. The one that's in the image at the top left is a very strong dive map due to the high ground. Goats does get shredded by double projectile on this map, and Pharmacy is very strong. And we saw Funky on the Pharmacy there, so I would be surprised to see excessive amounts of goats in Oasis here, but
I reckon they're gonna run it on.
I guess you never know.
I don't know, the one with like it's kind of points to the right of the map. Don't know the names of any of the maps. Gardens or whatever it's called.
I do believe were Impulse 5th on Ocean's Power rankings.
Yeah, I think they were like 2nd on HR, so 8th Trawith. I could just do an English accent this entire time.
I think they should. For me, I think they're definitely one of the top 3 teams in the league.
Yeah.
The
Obviously, TBM
Flunky
first,
and
right,
Arctis on DPS. Oh, for sure. TBM bombing. But no, in all seriousness, I think Impulse are one of the stronger teams in the league. Manic Pigeon is an insane support player.
And they also
And
have
Flunky
like,
on the DPS as well.
they also have like a calm 2-4-2 level of like Genji play on their team, like, you know, in the form of Flunky, who I think plays Genji, or no, it's Arctis that plays Genji.
We'll see if we have any interesting strats for this map. This is probably the weakest of the 3 maps for the Pharah, but still playable. We'll see if Flunky does bring it out here. If we were going to see goats, this is one of the maps that it could be run on.
However, Reaper could be run as well, because Reaper's very strong in this map. And May and Reaper.
For sure. We could see some Snoats coming out. We could see Reaper May. Reaper May is a very strong comp at the moment.
It is.
I guess we'll have to wait and see. I assume Impulse won't be running any goats. They'll be wanting to keep Flunky on that DPS slot.
We do see Manic. Oh, it's true. They are running goats.
It does look like Zen goats coming out for C4. An interesting choice. Are we seeing goats from both sides?
I reckon yes. Maybe BK Flunky on the Reaper or something, or May, but I expect him to run the Diva.
If C4... C4 don't want to run Zen goats into Moira goats. Moira goats does have the advantage in this matchup, so we'll see. Okay, they're not running Moira goats. They've swapped over to the Junkrat. Flunky hasn't picked yet. Still waiting here. Now picks onto the Tracer, so they're running 2 dive DPS with this. Game has been paused. I assume that's because Flunky was AFK at the start. We should see it resume here. Yeah, looking at the 2 team compositions, running the Zen goats from C4, which is an interesting choice. Usually you'd start out on the Ana or the Moira goats. Zen goats is really only something you want to play against teams that are running triple support but not the Moira.
Yeah.
Because you'll find that or teams that are running like double hit scan or something along those lines, because Zen goats, you sacrifice that sustain that goats has naturally
but they do
for the
damage.
extra damage. Yes, but against teams which are running projectile heroes such... Okay, we are having a restart here. It looks like there was some technical difficulties. But yeah, again, you want to run the Zen goats against comps that aren't running projectile heroes, or you don't want to run it against Moira goats, because you just won't have enough sustain to outlive the fight. Usually you want to start on Ana or Moira goats and then swap over to Zen goats when possible, because Zen goats is probably the strongest of the 3 compositions, but it is the least effective against the most number of comps, if that makes sense. It's a weird way to think about it, but it is fairly accurate.
We are not nice for Pharah though.
It looks like they will probably restart to try and get the same map they had last time, I would assume. I imagine the 2 teams are just messaging each other saying, is this okay if we just stick on this map or not? We'll see what they decide. I'm going to post my Twitch in the Discord again while we're waiting, because, you know, got to rep those viewers.
We still got 0 viewers. Oh, I think we are playing on this map then, yep.
Yeah, it looks like they have decided to play on this map.
Arctis is on the Zarya.
Big. XOL. Okay, C4. Godspeed already did it for me. Dope. Let's go. Alright, cool. Alright, so we'll see what we see from this map. This map is good for dive, and I would like to see the Hanzo actually come out again from Arctis. If we can see it, he can abuse that high ground, especially if C4 opt to do goats on this map.
Ooh.
Ocean seems Ocean, I don't know much about Mind Temple, but if you put some information in the chat, I could maybe say something that close this up, because I see some reactions to Mind Temple being subbed in. We'll see why that is. We'll see if he can pull out a hard carry here on that Lucio.
3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
They're running.
See how this goes.
Rote.
So yeah, it looks like we are running a variation of Zen goats with a Reaper instead of a Diva versus no main tank from the opposition side.
but there's already
This would be
pick from
interesting.
not
See how they
even
set
a-
up here.
Oh,
The goats with Reaper
Huge
should
hook.
just out sustain here
oh.
as they
BK
chase
Flunky
round
finds a
point.
pick. BK Flunky for also.
Hyde on his own does get picked off, even on point, but it's kind of hard to know where to spectate here, I'll be honest, since this is going to be very spread without the main tank on the side of Impulse. Running that Graviatum as a disruption main tank, kind of like a Winston or a Wrecking Ball here. It's an interesting style. Haven't seen it played for a few seasons, D.Va as the main tank role, without Azaria at least, so we'll see how it does go.
Oh, oh, this is weird. Flunky's running the trace into this.
Big Shatter, that is one of the negatives of running the lack
Oh,
of tank,
that's
and
going to be a
Reaper
huge open.
should clean
But
up
we
here.
secure the fight.
We should expect C4 to just out-sustain on point with their comp, and Impulse will probably have to swap compositions here. They don't necessarily need the main tank, but if they are going to run without a full shield, I would expect more of a Winston or a Wrecking Ball coming out, if they don't want to run a frontline main tank, but I feel like it will be difficult for them to just stay alive against this pseudo goats comp from the side of C4.
I think they are switching
Running
it up
with the Ana variation now, which does make more sense, although the pharmacy is coming out from the side of Impulse and Reinhardt as well, so we should see this as they come through here.
Okay, flank, no run flank.
We'll see what Arctis can do with the
Find out
blade.
who's side of Impulse. That's huge
Oh,
shatter.
shatter bomb combo. Bomb doesn't get anyone, but Arctis does clean up with 2 kills there. We should see Impulse taking this fight as Blade comes out to secure it.
Interesting use of
Does
blade
get
though.
1 with Blade. Arctis with the 3k this fight. He's really impressed me so far. I would not expect him to be currently in platinum for sure. He's kind of reminds me of Werewolf in that fashion. Like, clearly a very
But
high
the
skill
fact that
player.
Werewolf accidentally hits heads every, like, he doesn't even accidentally, he just hits heads every time.
Big shatter comes out from Hyde. Manic Pigeon is anti. We'll see if he can get out alive here. He does manage it, of course he does.
It's Manic Pigeon.
As they push through here.
Oh, the spawn camper is coming onto the break though. By big hit something.
V-Pro does come out, does get
Be careful on the
D.Va
flanks.
still
Oh,
close in this fight, but Impulse do get 3 picks. Hyde loses the nano. We'll see if they can still take over this point. This is just going to be who gets reinforcements first, and it looks like
Oh,
Impulse are going to be able to clean up with that Pharah.
Big Red's probably dead there, yeah. This is looking very good for Impulse in the next fight, as they do have 1 support ult, 1 tank ult and 2 DPS ults. Oh no! Oh! Oh! That's a huge pick though.
Kamal does get the loot here. Big pin on Callahan. Does get counter pin. Huge save there. As
Mine Temple did still fall there.
yeah, for sure. But like getting the trade on the main tank is worth it in that situation. Sorry, I was trying to figure out who saved it, but I couldn't see it. Big Red with the pick onto Manic Pigeon. Flunky coming out. The barrage does get picked off by Kamala, as we should see C4 cap point here. They do, and it does look like they capped it before 85%, meaning Impulse will need 2 team fights to close this out. That's huge there from C4. Both sides now only really needing 2 team fights. The score may be 30% in Impulse's favour, but this is still an even match at the moment.
Oh!
Big pin. Bomb doesn't get anyone because a clutch bubble comes out there to save Hyde.
Mercy. Oh, what a save!
Mercy does get pinned, does live. Hyde putting pressure on the main tank. Big pin there. And
Huge
Shatter
pin
to
on
keep
the side of
himself
Impulse.
alive. Does get anti-down, cleaned up. Can't get out alive. We should see this fight go in C4's favour, although the brig does go down, but there's the clean up on the Lucio. We should see Impulse just back out and regroup for a soft reset here. If they don't regroup soon, they're only going to need... Yeah, it looks like Impulse are only going to need 1 more team fight here. Impulse might get a second team fight if they can take this quickly, but we'll have to see. It doesn't look like they will. Looks like they're going to take their time and make sure this is the last team fight for them. We'll see if they can take point.
Oh, the post
Blade comes out, 2 in grabs.
But they don't die.
The blade comes out, gets anti, doesn't get
Oh,
anyone.
huge
Big
shatter.
shatter comes out and gets 3. This should be C4 taking this round. High Noon comes out, doesn't get anyone as C4 just clean up. Impulse will be just looking to swap onto heroes like Wrecking Ball to touch point quicker, but it won't be enough. Mercy's res gets cancelled. They go down, they won't get another touch, and C4 take map 1 in Oasis. Or round 1 in Oasis.
Score 1-0. Ready for battle.
Sam, I see you asking if Impulse are looking better. Impulse are looking much better than the show match. They've been looking better in scrims as well. I know TBM scrimmed them, and they actually beat us 3-1, which we really weren't expecting, to be honest, after watching the show match. Played very well, and they've clearly worked on their coordination a lot. I mean, it's the last season's winners, so they're always going to be a strong team. So C4 have definitely been performing better against Impulse than they did in the show match, for sure. They are 1-0 up on Oasis, 1-0 to Impulse overall in terms of maps, as we come out on this map.
You also must
We are
remember-
seeing McCree variation of goats coming out from Impulse versus Zen Goats. Now the Zen Goats does have the advantage in this matchup. This is where you want to play the Zen Goats against those McCree comps that don't have those projectile heroes when they're not running full goats. Although Mind Temple does get pinned straight off the bat, and Impulse should be able to clean this up despite having the compositional disadvantage in this one. We'll see if the sustain is too much. No, it isn't. Impulse will take this. C4 should just hold on their team comp though, knowing that they do have the advantage in terms of team comps here going into this one. We'll see if Flunky does swap off that McCree after he dies next. If he does even die, the guy's insane. As they come through here. Hyde with a big fire strike, getting that ult charge going. He does have Shatter available to him. Does get blocked by Sime. We'll see if they come through here. C4 does get one pick. High Noon comes out from Flunky. They're just not peeking. Doesn't get anyone. And they should just be hyper aggressive here coming in with this Zen Goats. Hyde goes in behind. Puts pressure on the discorded D.Va. D.Va should go down shortly. There they go. Baby D.Va cleaned up. This should be team fight. Grav is committed. Interesting choice. This should still be C4's fight despite those ults committed. Big counter pin by Hyde. Should be able to punish this Reinhardt here. Bomb goes off. Probably an overcommitting of ults there from C4, knowing the fight was already won. Overcommitting from both sides, really. Flunky on point, probably just going to get cleaned up. And Zengodes does roll through on this comp. Like I said, they do have the compositional advantage here. Impulse will feel lucky that they did manage to get 60% with a team comp that is weak to Zengodes for sure. Running that Discord Orb on the main tank when you don't have that sustain is always going to be difficult. And still choosing to stay with the McCree is Flunky, which is a brave choice. We'll see what he can do with it. Hyde does have Shatter here. We'll see if he attempts to use it. High Noon comes out with Bomb. Doesn't get any. 2 ults used. Does demech the D.Va. Hyde goes down without using Shatter. Impulse do manage to take this fight. Really showing their dominance on this map for sure. Clearly this is a team comp they've worked on because they really have no right to be winning these team fights with this disadvantage. But here they are doing it, so maybe I'm just, a moron.
Oh!
Merry Window does pick off Flunky. That's a big pick here. They should play hyper aggressive here. As soon as that Lucio gets in, expect the amp speed boost. They should get the Discord right onto that Reinhardt. Does shatter down Merry, doesn't forget the follow-up. Transcendence comes out, big pin. Big Red comes through. Impulse have stalled out the point enough though, so they only need to win one more team fight. They do commit grab and bomb, or that's bomb from C4 even. My apologies. C4 do cap point here, like we should expect. We'll see if Flunky does swap off this McCree. He is low health. It looks like he will live, so they're probably going to go for a soft regroup to push in. That is a huge pick on Big Red here. Hyde does get the counter pin on the Moira. They should just be able to sustain here with the Brig ult, but Hyde does go down. Manic Pigeon and Mind Temple take trades, and Merry window does go down. We'll see if they can get reinforcements on point before getting completely cleaned out. Bomb comes out. Callahan does live. We'll see if they've spotted him. They have. They need to speed regroup here. It looks like this will be last team fight. Shatter comes out.
That's looking like it's it. Oh!
Big grab
Huge ult.
on point. We'll see if they can swing into it. Both grabs coming
Oh,
down.
that's
Big
huge
shatter
damage.
on the counter. We'll see if they can punish it. They will punish here as they move forward. Taking out, pushing forward onto Arctic and Crappy. Interesting. Big place here. This is last team fight no matter what here probably. So we'll see all ults come out here. On the side of Impulse, we just have a Moira ult and maybe a Lucio ult coming out. It's kind of blocked by my thing, so I can't see the percentage. My apologies there. We should see Brig get her ult on the side of C4 and Bomb come out, along with a beat. Hyde does get a pin off start. Comes around. Flunky does go down early. Hyde does swap. It is a 5v5. Bomb. Both bombs come out onto point.
Whoa!
Still an even fight. Big bomb there from Kamala, keeping his team in it. Shatter comes out, doesn't get anyone. We'll see if Callahan can stay alive there in that brawl. Looks like he will with the Wrecking Ball coming out. Kamala does get demexed, but their Rhine, they do take their Rhine out. High Noon just getting the Baby Diva. We'll see if they can put the pressure on the backline. Hyde comes through, putting pressure on Krabby, on the Diva. We'll see if they can demake this Diva here. They probably need to in order to take this point. But Hyde goes down. There he goes down as well.
That was a very close map though.
Teamfight Impulse. Impulse coming through. Surprisingly, I cannot believe Impulse managed to actually turn that round. Yeah, the waste of sound barrier there really cost the team. Trance was invested first. Ocean pointing that out in the chat. I'm not sure if I made that clear in the commentary. I don't think I did.
There also was the concept of C4 just used too many ults every fight. They used about 5 ults in one fight.
It's interesting here because, yeah, the Beastie saying this is game of the season. To be fair, this is the best game I've watched. This is the closest map. The first map was less good on C4's attack. Their defense was fairly even, finished with 119 on Volskaya. Did Impulse, but they full held on the defense, Impulse did. So it's good to see this map being closer, although I think that's partially down to the compositional advantage of C4. I think Impulse have been the stronger team here in terms of how they're playing. As we go into this first team fight, Hyde does get picked early.
Oh, and that's 2 down. That should be the end of this fight, and that should be
we should see
Impulse.
C4 just looking for a soft reset, trying to back out. Impulse going in aggressive to make sure they get all those stagger kills, and they will. So we're looking at Reaper Goats coming from the side of Impulse versus the Moira Goats. Oh no.
No, they're switching it up.
We're running a Pharmacy, Brig, Lucio, a very Rhine Zarya, Lucio, Brig as their core with the Pharmacy. So looking to still have that sustain on the ground while having that damage and the barrage ult coming in. Very strong against the composition that Impulse are running yet again. C4 really knowing their compositional matchups. Much better than Impulse, I'd say. But Impulse are just fragging, so what do I know? As they clean up yet another fight, Arctis on that Zarya has really been a standout player this game for me. Arctis,
yeah,
for sure.
Arctis has been doing very well. Their DPS have been doing very well. And so has Krabby Adam, creating enough space for allowing Impulse to go in and stuff.
Impulse have been playing excellently, especially considering in a lot of these fights they've had the disadvantage. Sorry, the camera's still, my controller just died. Uno momento. I am sorry. This should fix. I'm so sorry. Alright. Bomb goes out, does get big red.
Fight. Probably over. Oh!
Big shatter comes down here.
However,
just get 2, we'll see if they get the clean up. They don't. And they go in over aggressive on the shatter and do get punished for it, C4. And Impulse chase him out again.
C4 only have 2 fights left in this map now.
With that Pharmacy, they need to get that Reaper down early. If they're only running 4 in that tank line on their ground team, they can't let the Reaper live through it. The Pharmacy should be trying to either charge barrage quickly or take out the Reaper and Neither of those have happened yet. We'll see if they can turn it round going into their last chance to retake the point. As Big Red comes in, he will get ult this fight. Callahan does use his ult going into this one.
And Arctis, that is a fight over, I reckon.
Just good shout out.
Big
by Big Red to get the Reinhardt. He'll take that trade. That's worth it to make sure the fight gets cleaned up. And the res comes out. They should clean up Flunky here. Does go off the map just to prevent the extra ult charge since they have already stalled it to 99%. We'll see if C4 can hold on here. We'll see if we see the Reapers swap off here. I would imagine we see the McCree come out again from Flunky since he did like that in the last map. Or he goes his own Pharah. We'll see if they swap over to the Mercy. It looks like they won't. He's taking a Pharah versus a Pharmacy. That's some confidence for you there from Flunky.
It's BK.
We'll see if he can win this duel. Big Red is also a very good player, to be fair. So we'll see if Flunky can win this duel. He wants to take the duel versus the Pharmacy. The Mercy has left Big Red, so it's just a Pharah 1v1. We'll see who wins. No one at the moment. I missed the shadow because I was watching the thing battle. Hyde with a big pin coming through. Looks like C4 will keep this. The Pharah fight's still going on. I can hear it. I just can't see it. Big Red does go down to Flunky. Flunky gets the Pharmacy. Flunky taking that Pharah versus Pharmacy duel and winning. Not enough to take point though. Just coming, those picks coming just a little bit too late to take any meaningful part in the team fight. C4 knowing that if they just win the ground war, that the Pharah fight doesn't matter. Bomb comes in. We'll see if it gets anyone. Shatter comes down. Does get Hyde. That's a huge pick. We'll see if this comes out here. Kamala goes down. This should be fight as Flunky just free fires down.
The res gets stopped as well. That should be
Fire strike goes out on the Mercy. That's 3 down. Callahan down. We'll see if they can get a contest here. It's unlikely. Big Red's going to have to touch. Does ult. Does go down. We'll see if it's enough. No, looks like Impulse will take map 2 to make it 2-0.
What do you think went wrong for C4 that much?
They're just... I think they're getting outclassed in the DPS matchup. I think their tank line is fairly even, to be honest. I think Hyde's made some big plays and some mistakes, but so has Impulse's main tank, who I'm not going to try and pronounce the name of. Both have played pretty good games so far, to be fair. They'll both be very happy. Flunky with the 41 units there, and huge healing by Marhill.
Arctis is just
coming out there. Everything seems to be relatively even matchup, but the support line is just giving a stronger support on the tank line for Impulse, and their DPS seems to just be that tier above C4. Maybe the lack of Godspeed is hurting them here. We'll have to see. I would expect... I'm not sure if they have any subs.
No.
Maybe not. No, they don't. We'll see. It looks like they'll be sticking here.
Impulse are winning
C4 clearly
down as well. That's the problem.
C4 have been looking good. Like C4 have been playing well. They know their compositions. They know what compositions work. They're counter-picking the enemy team, but they're just getting outclassed. Yeah, that's a good point. Mind Temple has been being pinned a lot. Like, just opening up, not paying attention to the front line of the enemy team, has been being punished. I didn't really want to, call that out. Because he's been doing... Yeah, he's been doing alright besides those pins, to be honest. He's been staying alive against Flunky, which I think is a big part of this. It's not doing too bad, I wouldn't say. He's just been unlucky with a couple of the pins, and big brain plays from the Impulse main tank there, actually. Managing to pick the Lucio consistently. Yeah, looking at his profile here, he has got some... Yeah, he is definitely a Lucio and a Mercy player for sure.
I think C4 Shanks might be coming in.
Okay, yeah, Mind Temple is getting subbed out, and we should see someone. Is it Shanks coming in? Yeah, or 2 subs out.
Ooh.
Who else was that got subbed out? I missed that.
Shanks and Nitro Gaming probably.
No. Okay. Yeah, who was subbed out? I guess they just left. Callahan, Mary, Hyde, Big Red.
Nitro Gaming is a Lucio player.
Yeah. It also says Shanks is a Lucio player. What does Shanks actually play? Because that's a Smurf.
Lucio.
Okay. Oh, Kamara comes back in. Okay.
Kamara did actually very well, in fairness. The first map he played. I don't think it was really Mind Temple's fault there. It was no one's fault. It's just Impulse just did better. Jesus, I sound like Ocean.
I think, honestly, whoever's shot calling for C4 is doing a really good job. They're doing all the right things, but just the DPS line from Impulse and Manic Pigeon is just, they've just been a tier above. You feel like they just need to focus those players in particular down more. But C4 have been playing well. They're one of the more coordinated sides we've seen in the league. But so are Impulse, and Impulse just have that tier above in terms of DPS. No Godspeed here for C4 will be hurting them, for sure.
Yeah.
But the crossfires that Flunky and Arctis have set up in every map so far have been really strong. Arctis's Saria was really strong. Flunky's Pharah taking on a Pharmacy. Like, there's no way you can plan for someone solo picking Pharah without a Mercy and winning the Pharmacy battle. It's just a case of C4 will be happy with how they've performed this game because they've performed very well, and then they just need to. I don't even know what they need to do. They need to nullify the insane DPS from Impulse, who are just playing out their mind right now.
Really, I think they should just be constantly focusing the DPS and Impulse.
You say that, but then if you overcommit to that, then their tank line, which is fairly matched, suddenly isn't fairly matched anymore. I think C4 just need to keep doing what they're doing because they will. I think they will win a map like this. Like they can't. You can't expect Impulse to continue playing. Like Arctis is a low diamond high plat player. You never would have guessed that after watching this. And like he can't. You wouldn't think he'd keep playing like this. So we'll have to see.
Diamond. Like Spot, I see the first time I saw Spy, I thought he took Masters or something.
Flunky does pick off Big Red early. That's unfortunate. C4 will want to actually take this fight early despite being a pick down. Otherwise, they will only get one fight on this point. Mary does pick off Krabby. Huge pick by Mary Window.
Just finds another pick.
Flunky just fragging. And Krabby gets rezzed. So we will... C4 need to take this fight, otherwise they won't get a second fight on this point. If they don't take it before second door, it's going to be really tough for them. They need to die on payload now. We'll see if they do. Now they keep getting booed back. Sime on that wrecking ball, knowing what they're doing, trying to get as much movement in. Flunky is just popping off.
This is really interesting.
To be fair, most of those were body shots from Flunky. Flunky, dude, you got to click them heads, man. Like, honestly, poor. No, I'm just...
Shush.
Callahan on the Sombra here is a clever pick. We'll see what they can do here. It's just going to... Yeah, they're not going to get that second fight. That's the first major macro error that C4 have made. They should have just... Knowing they were down, they should have just died on point. And they didn't get it, so they only managed to get the one team fight on that first point, which is going to cost them a lot of time. Even if they were going to lose that second team fight, it's still worth having, because it costs them like 45 seconds off their clock. And now they're getting stagger picked again into this.
Like, there's no... Like, they're going to have a one-fight territory on this point.
This has been the poorest that C4 have played here, coming on to into point. Let's hopefully they just regroup and get back on it.
I think they're playing dive,
just
trying to destroy Flunky, and that's another pick
the triple DPS solo tank wrecking ball is an interesting comp from Impulse, and C4 don't really know how to deal with it. Clearly, this isn't one of the team compositions that they've practiced counter picking because they're not right now. Running the dive against it is
but the problem is
an even matchup, but it's not in their favor.
They also are committing 2 tanks to Impulse, meaning Impulse will get all the space in the world after the tanks dive in.
He does clean up. It looks like Impulse are just steamrolling here. Hyde is just going to die on point, try and get the second fight. We'll see if Sombra can get out. It doesn't look like she's going to be able to. No translocator means that they're probably not going to get another fight, but they weren't pushing payload, so maybe they will get a second fight on the second point. We'll have to see here. Mary does get staggered though, so probably not. So only taking 2 fights for the whole first 2 points here from C4. Some big macro errors there. There is a pick on Flunky, but it won't be enough to take a contest, and Flunky will just get nice respawns going into this next fight, making that pick semi-irrelevant, but good play nonetheless to pick off Flunky. Kamala does take high ground. We'll see if they can punish here. That Wrecking Ball's weak. See if they can get the pick. Cool. Now they need to be hyper aggressive. They're running that. They've with the ulting Winston. They just need to get on payload, stop them moving it, and move forward. Flunky just popping off. We'll see if Flunky can be as effective inside third point with the slightly worse sight lines. But for now, Impulse are moving the payload again. With 4 minutes 30 until the last point. Big Red with a huge pick. I'm not exactly sure what that was. I apologise for that, Big Red, but that's a huge play right there.
It's on Flunky.
Wrecking Ball really doing his job well here. Like displacing the team as Bomb comes in with no thing.
That's a very
Does
good
pick
bomb.
off Krabby Atlas.
Oh!
Mines comes out from Satsuma. Mercy does pick off Callahan, but it won't be enough. Blade comes out. Maybe an overcommittance from Big Red here. See if he can get any stagger kills with it. Unfortunately not. He'll be sad that he used Blade there. But so far Big Red's probably been the best performer so far in terms of defense on attack. In terms of how he's been playing like Genji. We'll see if they can turn this round here. Big hack on the Mercy. We'll see if they can get that punish. Sound barrier comes off to save it. Big Red picks off Flunky again.
Right now.
Arctis counter trade zone. Big Red gets the Mercy. Big Red really keeping them in this fight for sure. The Genji 1v1 happening on payload. We'll see who wins it. Callahan does pick off Manic Pigeon, which is a huge pick, and this should be C4's fight now. Flunky free firing, just over payload though, in a very kind of exposed location. We'll see if he can live there. He is backing up, and Callahan does pick him off. That was poor positioning by Flunky, actually. I was kind of surprised to see him in payload. But Big Red playing very well here on the Genji. And they're really starting to figure out how to counter this comp now, and they're playing very well. This is actually an even matchup in terms of compositions. So, like, C4 will be happy with how they played on this third point. It's a shame that point 1 and 2 went as they did. But yeah, strong. And with the ult advantage here, C4, their ult economy so far on the maps has probably been the weakest macro thing that they've been doing. But so far on this map, besides the Blade, and I think Big Red has made up for that by his incredible picks. Although he does get picked by Same as I say that. And that looks like that's Impulse fight here.
Nope.
But they will have double support ults for C4 as they come back out. Hyde does get a pick with that Primal. I'm not tracking this fight at all well. I'm sorry for the camera work, guys. Like, really, genuinely. Wait,
where's Flunky? There we go. Oh!
Big Red does get that Nano. Onto the Reaper now. I'm surprised he did swap off that Genji since he was being effective. But BK Flunky on that McCree now. Maybe his way swapped off the Genji, but onto a Reaper against McCree is probably a poor decision.
Yeah,
Big hack comes out there. This should be enough to turn this fight if they can pick this Mercy and this Reaper. We'll see if Arctis gets picked. Shatter comes out though. And Arctis gets 3. Huge combo by Same.
I'm expecting this for Impulse for C4.
And that is cap with 128 on the clock. 128 is a very good time. C4 will be happy that they brought it down to 128 after the points 1 and 2, because points 1 and 2 were frankly like they just needed to take their team fights earlier, and they would have had 2 more team fights for free. I actually think C4 could take this Impulse team by surprise. If Impulse come out with the composition that C4 recognize on a then they've been counterpicking so well through the whole map. Like, the only mistake there was playing the Reaper into the McCree, which like ultimately caused the loss of point 3 there. And especially with Big Red popping off on the Genji, I'm not quite sure if I understand that decision. But honestly, the shot calling from C4 has been outstanding, just because the team composition swaps have been very quick. They've been countering every opportunity they have, and where they take the fights has been generally good. Just the first 2 points on this map have been relatively poor, but honestly, one of the best in the league at counterpicking, it definitely looks like. You don't typically see it too much in XOL, whether that be because teams are only practiced on certain compositions, or whether it be because people don't recognize it quick enough. C4 have definitely been one of the better teams doing that so far. The Bastion comp coming out again for Impulse with the double shield pharmacy. This is what full held on first point on Valskaya. We'll see if C4 have figured out how to hold this, running their own double shield Bastion. This is an interesting matchup here. Now your team knows what the other one's running. There was no scouting, but now they'll know, and the memes have begun. A lot of this will be decided by the pharmacy battle. Big Red does get Arctis.
Oh, and he stopped
He
the
won't get rezzed. Big Red goes for the pin, but gets...
Mary finds 2.
Mary popping off. And Big Red coming through. Huge by C4. Hey, they're running a Bastion on defense. What's the answer? Bastion on offense. And as we see double sniper come out with no main tank again, but running this area this time, which does mean that Hog will be playing as a main tank, which is something that is a viable strategy. We'll see if Syme can make it work. I imagine he will be able to. He's been playing very well so far, and his Wrecking Ball main tank was actually very strong. His displacement and disruption was very, very good. On attack on this map, the Zarya Roadhog is something that I doubt C4 will expect. I haven't seen it played in XOL so far, so we'll see how C4 respond to it. Not running a shield is risky, but if the Roadhog can get any hook here, it's huge. Manic Pigeon popping off, and Flunky gets 2 there on the high ground with the damage boost, and that is cleanup. We'll see if they swap off the Bastioneers, since they won't have access to payload. It'd be very difficult to reattach themselves to payload with a static comp against this lack of main tank and the increased utility of the Impulse team selection here.
They probably will keep the Reinhardt, because the Reinhardt does do very well in shatters against this comp.
They have swapped off the Reinhardt to dive, actually, which does make sense. I would have liked to see an Orisa Roadhog here to counter their comp, but dive is kind of a neutral matchup against this comp. You don't really want to run dive into a Hog, but running into a Zarya is pretty good. So
Flunky finds 1.
Kamala gets the pick on the Mercy. Kamala finds 2, huge, and Archie goes down. Kamala with a 3k. Kamala really carrying this team fight. Terrible camera work. I apologize so much. Kamala with a 4k, 5k. Kamala popping off that fight. The tank line really going through there. And it's clearly C4 have practiced dive. They tried to run it on first map, but they got counterpicked, so they ended up swapping. And this is actually the first time we've actually seen C4 run dive. And it looks pretty good. Running against that double sniper, Zarya Roadhog is a pretty good choice for dive.
They are switching over, they are rotating around.
Big Red does get the pick on the Winston.
Callahan
will Arctic get punished? No, Arctic's going to live through that and should be able to punish. No, he gets picked off. And just Manic now on point. Hyde should be able to clear that up. Huge. 2 picks in the back line. We'll see if that's enough. As the fight goes on point of 3v2, they need to get picks quickly.
But he has no recall. However, he does find 2.
Flunky weak. Can Flunky contest long enough for his team to recontest? There's the pick for Flunky. It's a 1v1. Can they pull it out? Big Red gets it, but it wasn't quick enough, and now Impulse will retake payload. That's unfortunate for C4. Huge plays by Flunky, managing to stall that out and get the pick to deny C4 second point. And that is why you take the team fight early.
Oh, that was
Mary with a huge pick on Flunky. We should see them be hyper aggressive here as they come through.
Well, the
Mary's
Tracer
really
shouldn't-
popping off this game. The master Zenyatta player really showing his worth here. Big bomb comes out. Does get Manic Pigeon. That's huge. The Impulse should be able to push forward. They do lose Mary and Hyde, and Rez comes out. Maybe it's cancelled here. This attack, it looks like it will be with Kamala going down. Can't. Oh, they do manage to demake Crappy, which will be good for the next fight for sure. We'll see if Big Red can get out along with Callahan. Looks like he will be able to. Winston's trying to push some pressure, but not enough to get the picks. We see Impulse making sure they got that second fight on second point, and that's why that is so important on this map, to make sure you take 2 team fights per point. Wasting so much time here, and already C4 will be down to the same time Impulse were when Impulse finished third point.
Shanks is getting cut out here.
Winston's weak and anti.
Oh,
We'll see if he gets
Krabby is
picked.
fine.
Krabby
Good
Atom
kill.
goes down. Blade comes out. Does get the Mercy. And Trans comes out. This should be enough, but Payload is a decent distance from the end of third point. They need to get these picks
They are,
quickly
okay.
before reinforcements come in.
The
And it goes down.
Arctis does
Hyde
find the
goes
Reinhardt.
down.
And this
Surgeon
should
goes
just-
down. This is...
This fight could go either way,
It's
honestly.
Flunky again. It's Flunky and Diva versus... It's a 3v3 now, on point.
Big Red flanks. Ooh.
Okay, huge. Now it's just Krabby. They need to get Krabby off point as quickly as possible and start moving this payload before reinforcements come in. As the Mercy's here. Mercy probably shouldn't have come in yet, and she's been spotted. We'll see if that's a mistake there. Does get support by the Winston, and does manage to get out there.
Are
Well
they
played by
going
the
to Mercy
Winston
off?
to come save the Mercy.
They still do have a fight in this, that's the problem.
Yeah, this is going to be another team fight.
Oh.
Callahan does get 2.
Oh,
This
fuck's
should be second point for C4, we hope. Shatter doesn't
Flunky
get
does
anyone,
find
but
Daria.
does push them off point for a few seconds. Putting pressure on Manic, goes down. They will look like they will cap this in overtime. Krabby Atom just contesting payload from there, and they need to move him. But they don't have much high ground pressure as they do push them back, and Impulse will just give them second point here, it looks like. Unless Flunky wants to contest? No. Impulse will give them second point. It looks like their Mercy's dropped down. Will they stagger the Mercy?
That is unfortunate.
Big Red does get the Mercy
Oh
stagger.
my
That's going to
God,
give them a
Mary.
lot of... And Mary does get Flunky as well. Mary teaching the GM DPS who's boss. C4 looking much better on this attack. Still will finish with less time than Impulse, but that won't worry them too much. Especially with overtime spawns on payload maps, it really doesn't matter if you finish with less than like 2 minutes. Typically,
That's
it's still a
huge,
relatively
Echo.
even thing. Mary does get picked with that pin. Hyde goes down as well. Arctic goes down, but that's not enough. C4 will lose this team fight, and they will only get one more chance here. We'll see how bad the stagger picks are going to be here. We'll see if Kamala can get out. If he can't, will Mary get picked again? No, it looks like they'll be fine. Flunky in
This
that
is the last
backline,
fight
trying to
for
pick.
thing. However, Hyde does
Flunky's
find
down.
Flunky.
But he did pick Mary, and they have that spawn advantage. This is going to be really tough for C4 to get a proper team fight going here. Especially with Arctic on this high ground with his ultimate. He'll be looking to
Arctic's
drop on the back line.
translation. Oh my gosh.
This is over here. This is over here. We'll
not
see
for me.
Arctic come in with the ult here, I
It
expect, in a few seconds. There it is.
Yep, that's it.
Does
That's
get
it.
1, 2, and grab comes out, but it won't be enough. And Impulse will take this map to make it 3-0. Impulse has played incredibly this entire time.
Oh!
Callahan does get 2, but it won't be enough. And
Please. No.
Victory.
they take point. Impulse's team play has been incredible here. Both teams have played very well. It just looks like Impulse have got that individual mechanical skill, just that little tier above C4 at the moment. As we see this play by Arctis here going into this. Huge from Arctis there.
Ooh.
Mary with some huge healing, considering he played Zen for a lot of that. Okay. Thick Plan has left. We'll see if Mind Temple sub back in. For map 4, we'll see if Impulse make any swaps. I thought actually Mind Temple did play okay when he played. I thought the only thing that they were struggling with was the Ryan play from I can't say his name, Saimitsuna. That's what I'll go with. If they just stay more aware of that, I think that's actually could really use Mind Temple survivability going into this next map.
The Mercy went in quite a few times by herself and did die.
Yeah, I think Impulse's support line is insane.
Yeah.
Just insane. Who do you think? Do you think Impulse has the strongest support line in the league?
Yeah.
Obviously, we see Mary from the opposite side.
Maybe Mary and someone else. Mary definitely, though. Mary is a very, very good player.
I think they've always been struggling for that kind of that second support role now that they lost Basic in between seasons.
Yeah.
I think that Basic Mary window combo was definitely the strongest in the league in season 1.
I think they might be signing a new player, though. A new support player.
That would be a huge pickup for C4 if they could manage to bring in a new support player.
Maybe like a main support. Definitely.
And Flunky really showing that he could be an MVP at the end of the season with these performances. And honestly, Arctis has been playing insane as well. Even his Zarya bubbles have been good. I have also liked, I think maybe it was when Big Red played Zarya. One of the Zarya players from C4. I think 2 people played it, and both their bubbles have been, their support bubbles have been really strong, like bubbling mercies to make sure they get those reses. Very good on the first map, I noticed. I'm actually this has been a really good game to watch. 2 quality teams. C4 will feel a little hard done by that they haven't won a map.
Yeah.
They've just made like 1 major error on each map, and it's cost them. But everything else has been so good.
Yeah.
It's just
it's the score
not taking those 2 team fights on the first map. For sure. I think Impulse have definitely been the better side. They deserve to be winning.
No, but I believe that it should be like a closer. I think it should be a 2-1 right now or something.
For sure. I could see Oasis going in the way of C4. I think C4 played Oasis. Actually, they didn't really make a mistake on Oasis. That was their best map, for sure.
It's just
as they come through here.
Didn't make any other mistake as well.
As we see Zengoats come out from C4 versus.
Why is Big Red AFK?
C4 actually counter picking the enemy team again, but Flunky does get Big Red.
Oh, they're doing the strat. Yeah, Gladiator strat.
Are they? They are.
Yeah, they were.
No, they didn't, because the LA Gladiators went all the way around. That was on the ending Gladiator strat.
Yeah, but they're pretty much the same thing.
Nah,
this is just clean up for Impulse.
They just played the same composition. You would expect the Zengoats to win this matchup, but with Flunky on that Widow, you just never know, man. Bomb comes in, does get Hyde. That's unfortunate.
That's a support all coming through. That should be the fight for Impulse.
Big block.
The Zen's call.
Chatter does somehow get the Lucio, but the counter pin to save his life is excellent there by Kamala. Haven't seen Kamala play the main tank so far, but he has been very good. does manage to get Manic Pigeon down, but does get picked off himself. They will lose first point. Kind of unfortunate for C4. They might be able to stall this out. I guess we'll see.
They are ulting. Oh, and they do find the vent or the Diva mech.
Goes down. Impulse cap point.
Oh, that.
Stop the payload.
The Zen Goats does counter the comp they're running, but like I said, with the Widow, you just and Flunky on it, you just never know. They are playing well though. The shot calling to make sure they don't let the payload move when they take the fight is huge. Which means this stall is huge. That's a fat
Huge
shatter. Huge by Kamala. Going in on the backline. Kamala has really been a standout player for C4 so far this map. And actually, along most maps, he's played exceptionally well.
I know.
Time to read my APM.
However, they are still down their Lucian. Or one of the players. Oh.
Flunky in window. We'll see if Mind Temple sees it and wants to push. Mind Temple has been playing better on the Diva, I think, than the Lucia. Oh, the Grav and the bomb combo does get them, but they were smart. We'll see. Oh, this Zarya. See if Big Red can get out without getting picked. If he does, they will get a second fight.
They're staggering.
They are pushing on him.
As well.
Are they?
Yeah.
They are. Yeah. Mind Temple,
This is
unfortunately, might not
unfortunate.
get a full second fight here. We'll see if I can watch this. Okay, they finally finished Mind Temple. You kind of saw it through the wall. I'm sorry I didn't catch that on stream. I was following the team fight. Big shatter from Syme. Does get it cancelled. Big Grav gets 3. Huge. As C4 somehow win this fight. Incredible play. But Flunky does get Merry, so maybe it's not over yet. Big bubble on Kamala to save his life. And they do pick Say. Dude, C4 have played so clean. I'm so sad that they're 3-0 down. Oh my god.
Oh, and that's a huge tag on the Flunky.
It's just those individual plays that C4 have been worrying about. Their shot calling's been so good. Their ult usage is probably the only macro thing that you'd call, but it isn't even bad, you know what I mean? It's just not the best in the league.
Yeah.
I'm
I
so
think
sad. It's just Impulse's
Impulse are making bigger plays. So, like, it's the big plays that Impulse are making that are making a difference this match, this game. Oh, that's a
huge shatter by their
Speaking of
fight,
plays,
Kamala. Kamala have been insane this map. And the Mind Temple's bomb to come clean it up does get picked by Flunky, but they won't mind that. They are moving payload a little bit though. We'll see if they spot Flunky. They do.
Flunky, I expect is going to switch.
You would expect he'd swap from the Tracer going into the kids. I'm surprised he swapped to it in the first place, to be honest.
Not even a Tracer one trick like me would not switch with. But
C4 with their position, clever, fighting in front of the payload so that it inches back and the payload doesn't get cancelled. Although they are backing up to it now, which is unfortunate. But yeah, this is good positioning. Oh, they're retreating behind the payload. That's probably a...
Impulse are coming
back in front. Okay, we're safe.
this fight.
Oh, we do see both Gravs go off and the Pharah pick from Flunky.
This is hard to tell who's
The
winning this
Pharah
fight.
pick is huge against this C4.
However,
It's 1-for-1 here.
Ryan
Zarya
is
for
fine.
main tank, but Impulse are at an advantage here, even though it is 4-for-4. Grav. It's just 4-for-4 here, but you'd say that the core for Impulse is stronger than the core for C4 right now
However,
without that Reinhardt alive. And 2 picks
Mary
go down for
goes full.
C4 just to prove that fact. All Man Temple can do is contest as long as possible. The Shatter comes out for those stagger kills. Kamala just needs to back up. He's not going to get a contest.
Yeah, I'm not sure yet.
We'll see if Manic Pigeon can get a fat boop here.
Big
Doesn't
Red
need to,
has
just gets
gone
the
to
straight
McCree.
kill. The McCree pick, I do like this against the Pharah that doesn't have a pocket. Arctis going onto the Hammond, which is certainly an interesting pick. Playing the goats without the Zarya.
Risky.
I mean, you'd want to lose the Zarya over the D.Va, but you kind of want the Zarya for the Pharah for when they ult, since you don't have that Mercy pocket. You kind of want to make sure that bubble lands on Flunky, although it doesn't matter because Flunky doesn't need a bubble to get 3. He just does it anyway. No support needed for Flunky there as he picks up a 3k. And Impulse keep marching forward. C4 again have got the counter pick to their comp, but Impulse just don't care. Both shatters come down.
Huge shatter on both sides though. And Arctis does find Big Red.
Bomb comes in. Does pick off Annie. This should be enough for C4 to stall this out. Big pin there on Kamala. For Kamala onto Arctis on that Wrecking Ball. Arctis should get staggered here, you think.
Nope. We got out. Arctis, very good.
Did manage to get out. I have liked Arctis, to be fair. To be fair, I think Kamala's been C4's standout player. Like this map, but also the other maps, I think Big Red's also had some like incredibly clutch plays. But
whatever behind him does come out. Huge!
Oh, 3 in the bomb from Krabby after. Huge from Krabby, and that will probably be point as 2 more kills are picked up.
They got it before overtime as well.
And they did get it before overtime. C4 will be gutted. This is, as well as they've played, this map and Oasis have certainly been C4's strongest maps. 3.8 seconds. Very unfortunate that Mind Temple got caught in the mines there at the last bit. If she'd he/she, I'm not sure. I think someone said she in the chat, so I'm going to go with she now. I think I was calling he. So my bad, Mind Temple.
Mind Temple is she, by the way.
Oh, is it? Okay, cool. I didn't realise. So I think Mind Temple was just unfortunate there. They did get caught in the mines, because if she had just managed to get on payload for just 4 seconds there, that would have pushed it to overtime and made this a very different looking matchup. Now C4 still need the same thing, but it now no longer really matters if they get it with over a minute left. They just need as much time on the clock as possible to try and beat this Impulse side. That defense was probably as good as Impulse have played, and with an attacking map like King's Row, they will still be relatively happy with 4 seconds. It just hurts a little bit in the heart that they didn't take it till overtime, you know?
Yeah.
Looks like C4 are coming out with Zen Goats, which is an interesting choice, knowing that Flunky has been favouring the Pharah, but they go with it anyway. I mean, C4's team composition so far have been on point, so like, who am I to judge it? And from the other side, we are looking at a Sim strat with a Roadhog and a Reinhardt. I'm not quite sure how this comp's going to set up. I guess we'll find out. No longer the Orisa, it's the Roadhog instead. The Sim, it's interesting. I haven't seen this comp, but we'll see how it plays. I'm not really sure who has the advantage here. I think Zengoats is a good choice against this, honestly. Just because that extra damage is going to be useful, because you don't need that extra healing when they're running the hit scan and the Sim. Callahan does get 1, Kamala goes down, but 2 picks here for C4, and C4 clearly know how to play this Zengoats comp. They've been trying to make it work on a few maps, and they made it work on defense here, and it's working again on attack. Clearly they've practiced Zengoats on this map, and they know how to play that. We will see swaps coming out on the side of... Yeah. So Arctis onto Reaper, Ma onto the Moira, Flunky onto the Pharah, and Krabby onto the D.Va. So 4 swaps coming out for the side of Impulse as expected. They will now probably be... I mean, it's kind of interesting. It's one of those where this is kind of an even matchup, because you kind of want the Zen for the Pharah when the Pharah doesn't have a pocket. You don't necessarily need the Moira for solo projectile, especially when the solo projectile is the Pharah. But Arctis does get a pick off Hyde. Big Red does pick off Flunky. I didn't see Big Red swap off onto the McCree. Now they definitely have the compositional advantage again. They do lose the fight though. I expect C4 to stick with this comp. You'd expect that C4 do have a huge advantage with their composition again. Whoever's picking the compositions to C4, 900 IQ. Because I think they are playing a team that is... certainly SR is DPS average of Impulse is higher, but also just the mechanical skill in general.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh,
bro.
huge read on Sign. 900 IQ
be
shatter
honest-
there, knows when he's going to drop his shield.
Satamasu has been very, very good with his shatter assist game. Both Reinhardt's have been very, very good.
Yeah, I think actually, I think Kamala's been better with the shatters, to be honest. But I think Sign's been consistent through every main tank he's played. Callahan comes through with a huge pick. C4 do win that fight despite that huge shatter off the start. Kamala won't let that happen again, that's for sure. We'll see. They're opting to go with the 3 on payload strat instead of 1 and trying to go push for stagger kills, which means Impulse will get a second fight here. We'll see if that's something they use. Arctis with that ult will probably be looking for a teleport onto high ground soon to try and jump onto that backline. Bomb comes in, pushes 2 people back, does get Big Red. That will give free range to Flunky, who is no longer on the Pharah. Never mind, he has swapped to the Zarya. Bomb comes in, gets no one. Sam comes in with a huge pin. Callahan does get Arctis. Arctis still has his ult. Looks like this will go Impulse's way though. As they chase back to get some stagger kills. Both teams with a lot of ults online. Impulse going full straight goats, which is a complete counter to the C4 comp. You don't want to be running the Zen into Moira goats, and you don't want to be running the McCree. He just gets run over. So I'd expect the McCree to swap here to either a projectile or to a Zarya. Mary does have that Transcendence. So we'll see. Anna goats would be a huge pick here. C4 if they end up swapping to it. Bomb comes in. Huge block. Shatter comes down. Just gets Mind Temple and Transcendence saves it. Big pin by Kamala onto the Moira. High Noon comes out from Big Red. Does get picked off. We'll expect a Big Red to probably swap over here to another hero. We'll see if he does. C4 are moving the cart.
Malik is still out here though.
Callahan just get a pick. This is still a brawl going on here. Huge counter pin here. Oh, huge pick, and C4 will take this fight. They just need to keep pushing forward, keep moving their cart, try and pick off Manic Pigeon so he doesn't get too much stall. Huge stun by the McCree. You'd really expect C4 to be trying to run the Ana goats into this Moira goats to hard counter them with that anti-nade, especially knowing that Mary is an extremely strong Ana player. But looks like they will be rolling through, and Big Red is good in the Zarya as well. They do manage to win with the compositional disadvantage here. Probably rolling through, will probably stick with the Zen until he has Trans.
Oh, huge block. Oh, both man has both shatters blocked.
Bomb comes in,
Fine,
does get
fine,
2.
However, Krabby
3
goes
coming
through.
back for Krabby. Huge bombs here. And Mind Temple goes down and Impulse will take that. We should expect Mary onto the Ana here. That would be the smartest play, and C4 onto the Zarya. We'll see if they do it. No, it doesn't look like they will. The McCree's back here again. Don't want to be running that McCree into goats, but it looks like they're going to be sticking with it anyway. Big Red is fragging, to be fair, so judge it as you may. As High Noon comes forwards.
However,
See if he can make an angle. Does get a pick.
does find
That's
one.
huge.
Mind Temple finds
Mind
one.
Temple push in.
However, Flunky does find one as well.
Charges off the map. That's
got
oh, Mind Temple with the boop on Sion off the map. I didn't spot the boop. It just looked like he's kind of suicided there, but we'll take it with a huge pick for Mind Temple. 900 IQ boop there.
They're going to be stalling this out, as they do have the Zarya ult for this fight.
Yeah, they're going for the stall heroes. They do have 138 on them on the clock.
Huge pin.
Big Red does go down. Krabby Atom goes down. Big shatter by Kamala there. Does get. Will be Trans comes in here.
That
Bomb
should
comes in,
be,
gets another
this should
pick,
be it.
just looking for Manic Pigeon. Does knock him off the map. Kamala with that hammer swing off the
Huge
map.
pin.
Big pin. Should be able to clean him up here. They need to kill Arctis before that Brig ult gives too much.
That's another
sustain.
shatter.
Big shatter comes in here. Onto the Moira. Big pin on the Moira. High Noon comes in. Doesn't get anyone, but it doesn't matter. C4 taking huge attack by C4. That's the first time we've seen C4 win multiple team fights in a row without the compositional advantage. This could be the map for C4.
Yeah, but unfortunately it is too late.
I mean, you say that, but momentum in this league is a huge thing. You go into next week 4-0 down, that hurts, you know what I mean? Especially when you've played this well. I think C4 losing 3-1 to Impulse isn't like, oh my god, you suck. That's, wow, you took a map off one of, if not the best team in the league. So, I don't think they'll be too disheartened if they win this map.
However, C4 were predicted to be one of the best in the league as well.
After the show match, you kind of have to
Think.
judge that as it may. I think C4 are probably like one of the top 5 teams, but I don't think they're the same tier as Salmon Flames or Impulse right
Or TBM.
I think they're TBM tier, my dude. I don't think TBM is better than C4.
We do have the game god that is Callum2420.
Of course, and the incredible Tracer 1 trick that is you know.
And the boosted Reinhardt, which is Fish Face.
Alright, we'll see.
And
the
you know,
Reaper coming out from Arctic.
To win that on Ocean's list was placed below me. That's exciting.
Big pin on Callahan from Manic Pigeon. Manic Pigeon on the main tank. Clearly Hyde was saying, you know what, I've been kind of outmatched so far in the Shadow Battle on this map. I've been playing insane on all the other maps. So this map, I think, you just play it and I'll play the Brit. Which is fair enough. You get those things where sometimes the Ryan gets in your head and you just need to swap heroes to either another main tank or give someone else main tank for a little bit. Just because like they've got in your head with those Shadow Battles. But right now,
Shatter.
big block from Kamala. Huge pin. Kamala's been insane with the nano on him as well. Big shatter from Kamala. Kamala's popping off. Huge by C4. Huge hold. God, another pick. Honestly, Kamala, this map has been insane. Like, that was like block, shatter, pin, gets nanoed, shatters, kills too. Like, that was insane. Well done, my dude. Kamala's been nutty. We've had the luxury of seeing a lot of people on main tank, and everyone's been really good. I really liked Hyde's main tank in the first few maps. A little bit weaker on the start of this map, but I mean, everyone has an off map every so often, and he did hit a few big shatters. Was he even Hyde on the main tank? Now that I think about it,
No.
was it? I don't even know.
No, he's been the break.
Okay. Not on that attack. I mean, like for the rest of it, I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking out my ass, I don't know. We'll see. I'm just trying to fill silent space by talking, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Alright, so we are looking at least a draw. They have 144 to get a tick here. Impulse will be running out the strat with the Bastion and a double shield pharmacy that they ran to full hold on Volskaya. It didn't work when they ran it on Route 66, but they are going to run it again here. Merry Window on the tour, I assume that's going to swap to an Ana or a Zen. I would assume a Zen. Yeah, there it is. Big Red on the Widow. They will probably need to swap off the Widow. The Widow won't get any value. They should be able to scout from here. The Widow should be able to see what they're running. He should swap before the game starts. We'll see if he does spot it. It looks like he's opting to stick anyway, which is very brave. I know the Widow's a nice counter to the pharmacy, but
It is got a point. Yeah.
huge. Does force him to point, and Kamala does get one.
Huge anti.
Big anti-nade. Anti-nades on both sides.
Oh,
The
huge
Mercy's
save
one
on
and
the
asleep. They have to finish that Mercy. The Mercy lived. Huge. As Big Red does get out alive, we should. Yeah, okay. Big Red swaps over to this area. They just need to get onto them and run them over. They will have that opportunity. Bit of shield hopping, amp speed boost, 3, 2, 1. Fucking get in on that Bastion is what they need to do. They know the sleep dart was just used there. This is a huge opportunity to charge forward and get in on that Bastion. Looks like that's exactly what they're doing.
Oh.
Can they kill the Bastion? Looks like they're going to struggle with it. They can't quite get him. That's unfortunate. They're going to get another go at this. Arctic does have his ult, and so does Manic Pigeon, who will be looking for a shatter as they charge into the Bastion. We'll see if he can pull it out and clutch up for his team. We'll see. No ults online. 4C4. Yeah. This is probably looking like a draw. After all of this, just a 3-0 victory. Bastion is nanoed. This is very cheeky. That should shred through instantly. Yeah, as we see, everything come through. Damage boost, barrage, huge cleanup as they get cleaned up.
Yeah, that's
There's the map.
3, and it is
So,
huge impulse.
who do we want to interview?
I don't know. Someone that actually talks Arctis.
Yeah? Alright, let's pull up Arctis.
Arctis or
Yeah, let's go Arctis.
BBC, whatever he is.
Would you say Arctis is your MVP? I think for me he was. I think he played very well on all the maps. See if we can get Arctis in here.
Obviously on TBM plays Bash and Flanker will be MVP like, but shouldn't it just be us for casting the match MVPs?
For sure, dude. Here's the man, the myth, the legend. How you doing, Arctis? Absolutely. Alright, he's just including his audio, boys. Just 1 second. Live to a whopping 6 people. I think most people left after map 3. But you were our MVP for the game. Your Hanzo on first point was insane, dude. The crossfire you and Flunky set up was really strong on first point. Was that something you'd planned for Volskaya to set up the crossfire with the double sniper before the map, or was that a spur of the moment thing?
I think it was in spare of the moment.
Really, it was like we were convinced it was planned because the way that Flunky and you rotated around and you took the high ground, they didn't even see you, and the crossfire you set up meant their shield just did nothing. I thought just the whole Volskaya attack was very strong in general with the double sniper. You don't see it too much in XOL. What were your comments on the game? Like, how did you feel that?
Well, everyone played good, honestly. Everyone played good, and hey, Grabby. It was I think everyone played well. GG to them. I was quite proud of how everyone the team kind of clicked. There wasn't much arguing. It was a bit of conflict on the last map, when they were running goats and that we were swapping the Brig for the Reaper. There was a bit of conflict there, and but all that aside, we had strong comms, strong players, and GG to everyone.
How do you feel?
Yeah, I thought you guys were insane.
How do you feel about keeping up with BK Flunky's plays? Like you generally did as many plays as him, and you probably were on the same level as him in that game.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
What was the other thing? I did have another thing I was going to say. What was I going to ask?
What was your decision to change Manic onto Reinhardt?
So much was lagging really bad. He was like constant 400 ping. So Manic was like, I'm not lagging. I'll play via Summitsuma, just play support. So you don't need to. Basically, we were just having ping problems. So we just decided that was our choice.
Understandable.
Fair
you
enough.
had another question.
That makes sense.
Gecko?
I did. I'm trying to think about what it was. Yeah, we noticed that C4, composition changes, they were countering you a lot, but it didn't seem to affect you too much. You were still winning fights in fights where you had a disadvantage, like whether it be running like a solo Pharah against a pharmacy or running like McCree into goats. Like you did that on Oasis, and you just somehow came through and won those fights. When you saw the team composition of the other team, were you thinking we might need to swap here, or were you just thinking, you know what, we can just frag out harder than them? We can take these fights at a disadvantage and win anyway.
The amount of times we called to swap comp after we got lost like one. The amount of times when we got picked once or twice, and all of a sudden we get 3 or 4 picks, and I say, okay, no, let's fight this. I swear down that happened every fight. We called a lot of times.
You were at a
comp, but then
disadvantage
decided
like
against
90% of the game. Like genuinely, like 90% of the game, you were at a disadvantage, and you were just winning. No, I was so confused. I think props to C4, they were like really well organized.
No, yeah, they were really well organized.
Not with the Bastion. The Bastion was alright.
What our problem is
it was more Oasis.
It's our first league game of the season. We haven't actually played against a fully fledged organized team yet, so we'll only get better. And I'm proud of my Pharah. That's what I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah.
Your Pharah was very good too.
Krabby,
Yeah, BK was good.
You were a main tank last season. How did you feel about transitioning to an off tank this XOL
Fuck
season?
playing main tank. That was torture.
Even yesterday when I came up against you in the game, I got so annoyed when you beat me, even though my Lucio style was unbelievable.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the main tank last season was more of just, I can play main tank, I'll play main tank if you want me to, but I wanted to play off tank. Now that Ocean left and I had freedom of choice over if I could play main tank or off tank, I gladly chose off tank. And it's kind of showing that I'm a good off tank as well. My flexibility onto main tank is also a big thing.
There's one more question. What was your decision to play a Zarya Roadhog on 66?
Zarya Roadhog wasn't the one I was confused about. Zarya D.Va on Oasis. That's the one I'm confused about.
We ran Zarya D.Va?
What was the idea? Yeah, you ran Zarya D.Va.
I don't recall running Zarya
on
D.Va.
Oasis. It was the map PC4 one. You ran Zarya D.Va.
I don't recall.
The one with the big.
I think I do.
Okay.
We run D.Va Hog, but I don't recall running Zarya D.Va. Like,
I think
we
I was
weren't
playing
paying
Zarya.
much attention to the comp. We were kind of choose a
Fair
comp at
enough.
the beginning of the round, and then we would
just focus
we'll
on your
leave
comms
it.
and fragging.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. It worked for you
People
guys.
made switches to what they felt was correct.
Because I was watching it, and I'm like, am I watching? I'm watching a main tank D.Va here. That's what I'm watching. Like, which, like, is that? I didn't realize it was really a thing, and the way your team played around just every composition, like the triple DPS wrecking ball on.
Oh yeah.
Week 66.
Props to
That
our
was
coach
I
for
really
saying
really
that was a
honestly,
good idea.
Honestly,
We
I think
decided
that was just a
last
fuck it
second.
moment. That was just a fuck it
No, it
moment.
wasn't. Our
You
coach
guys
wanted
caught
us to run
C4
that.
out really well.
Wasn't it?
Like
I don't know.
C4 counterpicked like almost always,
Yeah.
and that was the one
They
comp they
didn't
didn't
run a
know
widow.
how to.
If they had run a widow, they would have
Yeah.
won that. I'm not used to playing
I
against
think they
widows,
were
I've
lacking
practiced that
Godspeed,
more.
to be fair. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
you guys
What
played really
cost
well.
them that game? What cost them that game at the beginning is the fact that I was on right exit door on attack for first point, running up and hiding in the tunnel. I made that call, so we were prepared to fight them there. So that's why we got them by surprise so quickly. And then we just snowballed further on.
Yeah. I think that was actually a really close game. I think C4. I think we're probably a lot more organized than you guys. I'll be honest, but I mean, you still won 3-0, which just like where your team is going to go is just terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, Alex has played insane. I checked your profile after the game. I'm like, wait, this guy's in platinum right now. What?
Yeah, he's ex-masters. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
He's unlocked. He's
Oh, okay,
ex-masters.
okay.
Season
Never mind.
12.
Ignore me.
Season 12.
I didn't check that far back. That makes
Yeah,
more
he's
sense.
unlucky as of recent.
Because I was literally like, dude, like what?
The other funny
I
thing
think
is
lucky
as well
is
is most of the time I have to play projectile, and I'm a hit scan main, but because BK's a 4K rated hit scan, I just go on to projectile.
I think
Oh, no,
that's fair. I
that's
think your
not how it
Hanzo
works.
was really strong.
The only reason
Oh,
BK is
okay.
like 4K,
It's just a
technically
fast
it's an office
bullet.
tracer. Just saying.
Sorry, fast projectile.
Yeah, but Arctis is more the flex, like what you saw with like the Bastion. So he literally played everything in that game. So yeah.
The Symmetra was a mistake.
Yeah.
He is off
Put that out
flex
there.
so
I watched him pick Pharah on Oasis against the pharmacy, and he just killed the pharmacy. And I was
that was
just like,
Flunky.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, Flunky.
Flunky is really good. We are glad to have Flunky on our side.
I literally called it out, like, that
Body shot, I
pick
think,
makes
yeah.
absolutely no sense. That could come back to Horn Impulse, picking the Pharah against the pharmacy, and then I was
We
forced to
thought
eat my
that
own
as well,
words
yeah.
about 2 seconds
Also,
later.
I'm going to explain quickly why there were so many pauses in between like map 1 and map 2, basically before Oasis. Flunky was not feeling the best. He was vomiting
Puking.
and stuff like that. So we were, yeah, basically
Really?
Flunky was struggling with his health in between the first 2 maps. So we were like, pause, no play, no pause, he's sick again. No play, oh no, he's sick again, pause. And eventually we called for the map to restart it because we hadn't been able to talk to Flunky because he was off doing his own thing. Yeah. That
In
was
the
why,
bathroom.
if anyone got annoyed because of the amount of pauses, that was why. Just had to clear that up.
No, I didn't think the pauses were too bad. We were swapping casters at that time, so it kind of suited us, to be honest.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah. Weird senpai
yeah.
analytical mind on a thing.
Any last comments before I end the stream? Anything you want to say to finish up?
GG.
The best is